We have seen in our community a sharp rise in chronically homeless individuals.
That's Judith Dembowski, Executive Director of the St. Francis House and Port in the Storm, which provides temporary shelter and outreach services to those experiencing homelessness in St. Augustine. Dembowski says inflation is playing a part in the crisis.
Our services are seeing a pretty scary uptick in the elderly population. And some of them are chronically homeless. They've been out there for a long time, and now they're disabled. A lot of the people that we are seeing are living on a fixed income and can no longer afford rent in St. Augustine, where they've lived their whole lives.
Her statement underscores the need for a low-barrier entry facility in St. Augustine, which is more than just a shelter. It would provide wraparound services for those experiencing homelessness. City Manager John Regan says they're exploring options for the facility.
We are studying different options that we can bring to the City Commission between existing properties owned by the city, which would be ground-up construction, and acquisition of properties that can be rehabilitated. We're hoping to bring 3 different options to the Commission.
Regan says they're also working on a business model and the costs associated with the facility. This local news is a service of your hometown Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. January is National Human Trafficking Prevention Month, and a recent awareness event brought attention to this growing crime.
United Abolitionists founder President Thomas Lara says the first thing in identifying human trafficking is knowing how to spot it.
Just knowing that it's happening, especially now to our young people being recruited and groomed on the internet. It could be through an app, dating site, even a gaming chatting. And so it's really important that parents are just cognitive that their kids could be getting recruited and they might be a real boyfriend and maybe a trafficker trying to target them.
The increased immigration at the southern border adds another challenge to identifying trafficking.
We don't really know how many are being trafficked because there's the crime of smuggling and there's the crime of human trafficking. A lot of times because they don't want to get in trouble with the cartel, they're just saying they're trying to find a better life when really they're being brought here even as children for sex trafficking.
Visit StopHumanTrafficking.com to get more information. For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
If you have open space you'd like to sell but want to see it preserved instead of developed, consider selling it to the county's LAMP program. Liz Ryan spoke to Chairman Mike Adams.
If you've never heard of LAMP, Mike tells us what it means.
Land Acquisition and Management Program, and the goal of it is to acquire environmentally sensitive lands for conservation and resource protection.
He tells us why land in this area is so worth protecting.
Between the Atlantic Ocean and the St. Johns River and the creeks and waterways that we have here, in comparison to the rate of development in our area, conservation of land is pretty important.
And the benefits extend beyond the environment. It's for people, too.
It's very important for people to have green space where they can hunt and fish and ride bicycles and hike.
There are many sources to help acquire these properties.
Oftentimes, there's partners involved, whether it would be the St. Johns River Water Management District or the Florida Forest Service or Florida Forever funding.
He tells us what they take into consideration before acquiring a piece of land.
Environmentally sensitive lands, to wildlife, to protected species, archaeological resources, recreational value, aesthetics, boating access, all kinds of criteria.
What would motivate someone to sell open space land to the LAMP project?
If they have any kind of a conservation ethic, that might drive them more towards a LAMP project with their property rather than selling it to developers or something like that.
If you're interested, you can get more information on the county website. For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Liz Ryan.
The weekend is here and there's plenty of family fun to be had in St. Johns County. This is Stacy with Fun for Augie Kids.
This afternoon, join the St. John's Library for an afternoon Kids Craft Time event. Craft Time is open to all children and focuses on teaching scissor, glue, and coloring skills. Creative Me Art Studios is hosting a Cookies and Canvas event where you will get to paint an adorable fox in the snow. And during break time, you can enjoy cookies and milk. This event is open for kids aged 8 and up. Tomorrow, Ability Tree First Coast is hosting its first ever hybrid polar plunge for a good cause. Registration includes parking, admission to the Beach Walk Lagoon, pre-event social, a hot drink after the plunge, and a Freezin' for the Reason polar plunge car decal. Join the St. Augustine royal family and entourage under the twinkling lights tomorrow for a Nights of Light promenade through town. For more on these events and others, please visit us on our website at fun4augiekids.com. Have a great weekend.
And now you're up to date with St. Augustine's local morning news. I'm Rich Carroll.